I've always been interested in driving. When I was in the service, I drove a stick shift truck. After being retired, I got tired of sitting around. It's time for me to get back maneuvering something on the road. I'm back in school again, and I seen the sign out there said truck CDL. I'm in school trying to get me an associate degree. One reason I quit school years ago, I'm slow learner. But once I learn things, I can pick it up, but I can pick more so up on hands-on. The technology is different for me. It's the difference between driving a straight back truck or a stick shift car. And the semi-truck amazes me. This is a program that advances knowledge. I'm determined to get an education, get you a skill and a trade. Live life, enjoy it.
There is not another culinary or hospitality academy located in the city of Detroit.
There's a lot of people teaching culinary arts, but they're not teaching the business side of it.
We're opening up another kitchen for the Cleary Culinary Academy. We're going to bring a Cleary mind to every kitchen in downtown Detroit.
But when we talk about a Cleary mind, we're talking about a student that can make a definite impact.
We want to be a part of all the wonderful food establishments, restaurants, and the food scene in general in downtown Detroit.
You've seen him on the red carpet, you've seen him on the sidelines, you've seen him on the stage. The hottest looks in urban fashion from the biggest name in urban fashion, Van Dyke's. Now pick out 3, pay for 1. 3 suits for 1. Van Dyke's, 10 Mile and Southfield Road. You've seen him at the clubs, you've seen him in the boardroom, you've seen him on the pulpit. Now get them at Van Dyke's. 3 suits for 1. Suits for the workplace, for the club scene, to be seen in. Pick out 3, pay for 1. Van Dyke's, 10 Mile and Southfield.
Say a little prayer for you, and I will always care for you. Hello, Detroit.
Tomorrow is Easter, and the first day of the month of April. And Easter, this month is, this year is moving real fast. Anyway, we want to wish each and every one of you a happy Easter, and certainly hope that indeed your weekend is going to be very well with family and with friends. Also want to just remind you, excuse me, that we're talking about a high today, about 51 degrees for the high. We're talking about some rain about 1 or 2 o'clock, talking about some high winds also. High winds. They got a wind advisory out, and maybe about 30, 40 mile winds. And you got to be really careful in terms of driving, walking and driving, but keeping both hands on the wheel. And so we just want to let you know what's happening as far as the weather is concerned. On Sunday, Easter, we're talking about 38 degrees, chilly, no rain, no snow, obviously, on Sunday. And on Monday, about 45 degrees on Monday. And, of course, it's going to be clear as well. And so, again, we just hope that everything is going well for you. Michigan, University of Michigan is playing tonight. About 6:09 is the time that the game starts, and they're in the Final Four. And so, again, that should be very interesting. And then also we want you to know that indeed Air France is on a strike nationwide, and of course, again, that has implications because they're looking for obviously for a raise. And Air France is also connected to Delta. And so, again, we just want you to know that indeed what's going on around the world. And as indicated to you, my sisters and brothers, that what's going on in Israel, and that is that African immigrants are coming into Israel, and of course Israel is rejecting them on big time, and even putting a bounty on anyone that basically fines or arrests or get a African American to notify the police or whatever, and they're putting them out of Israel and sending them back to their place of origin, where many other and you know Israel also supported apartheid. You know that as well. And I'm not trying to bash Israel or anything like that. I'm just letting you know what's going on. And that, again, you hear nothing. You hear nothing from the leadership. You hear nothing whatsoever, you know. And obviously, there ought to be a outcry of what's going on in there about immigrants coming from Africa. And if you don't warn them, at least don't put as if, again, this whole idea of that Mr. Farrakhan is talking about devaluing life. You know, you put in a bounty on a African and to send him back to his point of origin. Again, my sister and brother, it's just mind-boggling is what's going on when it comes down to us. You know, even with us in Africa, how we're treating each other, you know, and in America, how we're treating each other. And so somehow, some kind of way, you got to understand how we think of each other and how we think about each other also sends a signal to others how they will think about you as well. Caller, thank you for your patience. How are you this morning?
Praise the Lord. Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
And thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Dr. Holley, I want to make a statement.
Sure.
I think maybe you should contact Rabbi Newman of the National Jewish Council in New York. You will really know what's really going on and not you get both sides. Secondly, I want to tell you that we all have to come together in order to have a perfect union in this United States of America. I mean, all people. For instance, not just the NAACP, the National Jewish Council, because Dr. King included them in. We got to include all those races, Hispanic caucus, the entertainers. Keep in mind that a lot of the old actors in the march are really ill now. They have physical disabilities that you might not be aware of. Also, we just got to get these young people together. Instead of talking against each other, they see the old groups talking against this group and that group talking against that group. They should all get together and forget their personal problems or feelings and think about the human race as a whole.
Yeah.
And I'm sure things will be accomplished.
Yeah.
And thank you for taking my call.
And I appreciate the call. No, I appreciate the call very much. Thank you for the call. Caller, thank you this morning. How are you?
Yes, Reverend Holley.
Yeah.
I had to call back because have you seen Anderson Cooper has a part where they went undercover over there of Africans, the Nigerians going trying to get to Europe through Israel. But they are being assisted by Nigerians are selling the people tickets, helping the people to trying to help them to get to Europe. So Anderson Cooper got it on CNN. Please pull up the thing, and it's horrible that our African men are assisting with the enslavement of their own people, sending them through Israel, trying to get to Europe. They tell the women, let the women know that you're going to be raped, so bring your condoms. It is horrible. And Anderson Cooper now went undercover. People, please pull it up. Because, you know, we, the American citizens, we give Israel like $30 million a month to help Israel. You understand? We give them taxpayers' dollars. This is not, I'm not talking against Jewish people. This is the truth.
Yeah.
That we give them over $30 million a week. I can't quote the exact amount of money.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of money, though. It's a lot of money.
You know about it, don't you?
It's a lot of money. Yes, it's a lot of money.
Yes, we do. Okay, look up Anderson Cooper. They got it on there. It's horrible. We're asking the assistants with state there, the old people sending them over there, knowing what is going to happen to them. Thank you, dear, for letting me get that in.
Caller, thank you so much. How are you this morning? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you?
How are you?
Just fine, thank you.
Good program you have. This is Jacques Anon, listening to you on Channel 91 in Southwest Detroit. Good program today, but I think people are failing to realize where they are. You know, you've read the book, and it tells you that when the Most High threw Satan out of heaven, where did he throw him to?
Are you still there?
Answer that for me?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
He threw him here. This is where he threw him, here. So if that's the case, this place is hell. And this information needs to be divulged to our children. And the enemy and his children need to be pasted up on the wall so that they know who the enemy is. And they know what this place is. They're lying, the teachers are lying, the educators are lying, the curriculum is lying, everybody is, the churches are lying. This place is hell. Tell the children. Then you can change the condition. If you don't know where you are, you don't know what to do.
Okay.
Thank you for taking my call.
And I appreciate the call. It's right now about 16 minutes out of the hour, and the lines are still open. 868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336. Those are the numbers. The area code is still the same, 313, and we do have some open lines. Again, if you're just joining us, we talked about early at the first hour about the autopsy that came out about the young man in Sacramento, California, that was shot 8 times. As I understand it, some said more than that, but the official number is 8, 6 of them in the back, and the other 2 in another part of his body. But again, the police thought that he was that he had a gun when he had a telephone in his hand. And of course, it's interesting, my son brother, because they followed the young man from the air, and so you're communicating with the people on the ground from the air. This is where he is. This is where he's going, and obviously you can't see from the air what he has in his hand, but you can almost understand where he's going. They can tell you where he's going, and they can follow him. And so the police are following him from the ground because of the helicopter is basically have him on the radar. And so when they do have him hemmed up and so forth, and ask him to raise his hand, and of course they said they thought it was a gun when it was really a telephone. And of course the question I'm raising is whatever happened to the point where you ask the person to get on the ground, I mean, and spread your legs and spread your arms and open your arms up and all this kind of stuff. Whatever happened to that? What is the real protocol in terms of approaching someone like this, and especially this time of night? Anyway, it's just sad. It's just really sad. And obviously, people are marching. They're going to continue to march because the police officers, for the most part, you just feel like there's not going to be really any justice. It hasn't been in the past, and so why would you think it's going to be any justice in the future? At least at this particular point. And of course, we're just waiting to see whether the police officers are going to be charged. Right now, they are on leave without pay, as I understand it. And of course, in Baton Rouge, we have a situation in Baton Rouge where the police officers will not. 2 years ago, a black man was killed. They found a gun on him, but not in use of the gun. He was not using the gun, and obviously they tased him, and eventually the tasing, because of his height and because of his weight and so forth, the taser didn't really work. And so, and of course, that's when we started 2 years ago, started making sure in church we tell our young men, that you basically just do everything you can to obey whatever the police. Don't try to resist, and but like I said before, every situation is different. And of course, the police officers in Baton Rouge, they just a couple of days ago announced that they will not be charged of the murder of the shooting of this young man that took place there. And we can go down the line. You can go down the line. The number of police officers that basically have not been charged. Those who have been charged have been basically exonerated, and maybe less than 1% did get charged, and then also basically was found guilty. And I'm not sure, remember what city that was, but again, like I said before, is that the situation is just it's not getting any better. At this day and time, that you just, I mean, can you imagine a mother losing her son, and as many mothers have, whether it's by police officers or whether it's by other black men and women. I mean, it's almost, again, like I said before, what this peace that we're talking about is not just devaluing life from the governments, but devaluing life that we have just among each other, and how we really feel about each other. I see how. When you go into a restaurant or go into a McDonald's, where I freak when I go in a lot, and you see all kinds of people that's in there and in the restaurant, and you basically how they basically deal with each other, how the people that's serving them deal with them, and how they deal with the people that's serving them, and how they deal with each other waiting to be served. And all this kind of stuff, and you almost can write a thesis, in terms of just what goes on in a McDonald's restaurant. Anyway, it's 22 minutes after the hour. Caller, thank you for your patience. How are you this morning?
Oh, good morning. How are you doing?
Just fine. Thank you for calling.
Yes, I'd like to say on your point about why don't they ask them to drop to the ground. It's pretty sad when a black man, and I will say this, I don't think it's so much prevalent here in the city of Detroit, but in certain parts of this country, a black man is going to have to move in a certain way. One of the rappers says, "I can't move wrong," in one of his songs, and he's right. Now, it's a shame, but some of these men are going to have to just automatically drop to the ground. Now, they shouldn't have to, but that's what it's going to do. You're going to have to do everything you can do so you can survive. Yeah. We all know what's going on out here. They're just dreaming up reasons to assassinate you. That's exactly what they're doing. Right. They're going around assassinating black men. Yeah. So black men are going to have to learn how to travel and conduct themselves in a way that they will not be, subject to any kind of scrutiny or conjecture or whatever. And it's a sad thing that they have to conduct themselves this way, but that's what it's boiled down to. Yeah. When you are approached by a police officer today, black men just automatically drop to the ground. Yeah, right. And then if they got the video going, they know good and well how you going to be a threat and you're already on the ground. Yeah. The last thing I want to say, all of these things are happening. The Dred Scott decision of 1857, which has never been rescinded nor amended, not even by our black president, in essence says any man of African descent shall never have the rights that of a white man.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there it is. Thank you.
And there it is. Call you in touch. All right, this morning. Good morning.
Yes, Reverend Holley.
Yeah.
I'm calling back. I got to bring this attention to you. How can we form any kind of collective group to bring the people together when the NAACP, the Urban League, and other black institutions will not fight for the people that they're supposed to be fighting for? And if we form them kind of coalitions, we'll be going against them, and they'll think that we're too radical. What can we do to get our voices heard when our own people won't listen to us? And if we form something against them, how is it going to be looked at by most of the black people?
I hear you. And you know, again, I hear you loud and clear. But they all are fighting. They all are fighting based upon their purpose and what they were designed to do. I think the NAACP is fighting for what they were designed to do. Urban League is fighting as they were designed to do. All of them, whether national network. I think my problem is that should not one call all of us together, all of them together, you know, on the national level, and basically have a conversation of what we're going to do in terms of all of our issues, not just the issue that we're talking about. Policing, but I just don't understand it. I really don't understand, you know, on the national level. You know, we're gonna march. We're gonna march, and my son, but we've been marching, and we're still gonna march, and we should march. But at some point or another, the marching's got to turn into policy. It's got to turn into law. That this is just, you just don't do this. You don't do that. You know, and I mean, I remember when I was growing up, we did not travel at night down south because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you get stopped by the police and you've been pulled over for a ticket. You don't know whether you're gonna survive or not. And this is where we're going to. I remember, and this is not to say anything about anybody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. But I remember going through Ohio, you know, and you basically if the speed limit says 55 in Ohio, you go 50. You don't go 55. You don't set it on cruise. You go 50. And I remember getting stopped one time in Ohio when I was in college. And they gave me a ticket, but I had to pay the ticket, and it took me up in a wood somewhere to a justice of peace. And man, the guy that I was a driver, and for one of these teachers at the University of Chicago, and so I was a driver, and he was paying me to drive him to Pittsburgh from Chicago. But I'm just saying I'm looking at all these trees, you know. I'm just telling you, you're just scared as you can be. But you had to pay the justice of peace at that particular time, or else they're gonna take you to jail. It's almost like my sister and brother that you're just scared because you don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe you might feel like I'm over exaggerating this thing, you know. Caller, thank you for your patience. Hurry this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Dr. 91. Again, I'm listening to the conversation, and it just seems that all of these compromises, all of the fluoride, the Similac, the Infamil, the mercury, I mean, all of these compromises, these people want us to be everything but a man. Do you understand that? We have to bow. We have to show our. How about just be gay? How about that?
Yeah.
We have to show our children that we must bow down.
Yeah, that's it.
And emasculate ourselves.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, I mean, come on, man.
You're right. I got you. I got that.
Come on. What's the lady talking about?
Yeah, I like
that. We got to change what we are.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? No.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my call.
No, man, and I appreciate that because you add something. You add something to the mix, and for that, I'm very grateful to you for that. And I hear you loud and clear. You're absolutely. I mean, you're right about that. And there's somehow, some kind of way, we are who we are. We're men. We are men, not boys. We are men, and we got children who want to be men. And we got to basically have people to treat us like we're human beings, and not like we are other than human beings. And again, like I said before, I think my problem is, my brother, is that there's no conversation. There's no conversation about us from the national level that I know of, and maybe it's something going on secretly. But when I look and see what the Black Caucus has given to the president, there's been no follow up with what the document that I have that has been given to the president and follow up. And Mr. President, why aren't you doing this? Mr. President, why aren't you challenging? Everybody else does. And again, like I said, I don't know. We're in some difficult times. I mean, this guy. My sister and brother. You just don't know. There's so much uncertainty. Yeah, but you got him and Russia going at each other. Him and the North Koreans going at each other. You got the Syrians going at it now going at it. They got this gas, this gas thing they're using on their own people. You got Russia killing people in another country. Killing, assassinating people in another country. And you see that the president of Russia, my son, this guy's got to be the most dangerous. You talking about the guy in North Korea? The guy in Russia got to be the most dangerous man on the face of the earth. You talking about Syria? You're talking about some of these other leaders around the country, but this guy in Russia. I mean, this guy, you assassinate a father and his daughter in another country? You would attempt to do that? And now you're talking about he got a missile called Satan? Man, these are some, and so I guess this guy, President Trump would come up with a missile called a double Satan, I'm just saying to you, it's because whatever you got, his is bigger than yours, and so I guess he'd come up with a Satan too. But nevertheless, my son, these are the times. They're so uncertain. Caller, you in touch? How are you this morning?
Hello.
Yes. How are you?
I'm talking to you.
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I had to turn my TV down.
Yeah, sure.
Integration, man, that needs to be dismantled. That is our problem. Everything we do, we have to turn to the same people we had to ask for just to sit in the same room with them. Integration is the least America could have did for us. You can sit in the same room, but you can't talk about the safe in the back. You can sit in the same room, but you can't talk about the rules. You understand my point?
Yeah, I hear you.
Integration did this. It said, look how we do each other because of integration. Now we don't need each other. We disassociate with one another. All of those things are facts. And it's what we do.
Yeah.
It's not that it's we're crazy or anything. We just haven't finished anything we started.
Yeah.
Integration was just to be able to sit in the same room. It doesn't change every rule. It doesn't change every behavior. It does not change our condition. We got to do all that.
Yeah, that's good. Good point.
The teachings of Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
He told us about all this.
Yeah.
He said it in the 30s.
Yeah.
And
that's a good. I appreciate that call. I appreciate it very much. It's a good call, and I appreciate it. right now, the 35 minutes after the hour. That's a good call, and I appreciate all the calls as far as that's concerned. You know, well, you know, I used to do puzzles. You know, I know when I was younger, and trying to, and I would try to get most difficult puzzles to challenge, to challenge my thinking and my creativity, and just to challenge. It was a tremendous, and so, and somehow, some kind of way, it seems like we trying to put a puzzle together, whether it's the a piece from integration, or it's this piece or that piece, or somehow, some kind of way that this puzzle that we're trying to put together, these pieces are missing, and of course, then there's some pieces that we have that we just don't know how to fit them together. And I think, my sister and brother, what I'm trying to say to you, that how we do that, of course, is how we sit and able to talk to each other. Just how, I have a lot of respect for Ms. Farrakhan's mind. I have a lot of respect for the young man, I can't think of his name, that's now the secretary for the NAACP. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Morrill, who is over the Urban League. I have a lot of respect for Jesse Jackson. I have a lot of respect for Al Sharpton. I have a lot of respect for these guys. I have a lot of respect for women who are over these national organizations like the NAACP, like the Deltas and the AKAs and people like that. And somehow, some kind of way, all I'm asking for is really a summit, just to have a conversation about us. Black leadership, that basically men and women just come together on a national and come out with some type of ideas of what we ought to do in terms of challenging this government and speaking truth to power of what needs to be done, especially when it comes down into urban infrastructure and trying to get people on jobs. I want to say this. I went online and saw this thing that the deputy chief that called in last week about poverty, pathway out of poverty. And my sister and brother, somebody in Michigan, in Detroit, got $4 million out of this program. $4 million. And and you can go online and get the information just like I did. And so, Deputy Chief, I got the information, but I want you to understand, somebody it wasn't just in California. The money was dispensed all over this country, but it was not in Detroit. It was in Southwest Michigan. And the program dealt with prison reentry. It dealt with job training. It dealt with about 4 different proposals that they gave him $4 million. And I'm still trying to find out, Deputy Chief, and maybe you can find out, indeed, where did that money go? It didn't come to Central Detroit. It didn't come to the NAACP or SCLC or any particular church. It came to a organization in Southwest Detroit, and $4 million, called the Pathway Out of Poverty. And so I'm basically trying to go to the find a way to get to the Department of Labor and see whether or not those programs are still available, so we can see if we can get some money here in the city of Detroit. It came up under Obama's administration, and I'm trying to see if we can revive it or try to. But it's a wonderful idea, Pathway Out of Poverty, and really working with people who don't have the basic, the uneducable, what I mean by that is they're not going into back to college or going back to high school or anything. They basically can be illiterate and still be trained to do things. And so I'm just saying to you is I really because that's what we need in Detroit is programs that basically that they can do be trained on the job. Be trained on the job. Don't go sixes. These young people, these people are not going to go. When you're 40, 43, 47, 52 years old, you're not going back to school to learn these math skills and all like this. You're not going to do it. So what we got to do is try to find how these people can be trained on the job. They're not going to go in an apprentice program and to be a journeyman. There are other people that can do that and will do that and should do that. But there are those who are that has passed by them. And we got to find a way to make sure. And so I'm just telling you, Chief, I found out there is a program that you said it was that I should know what they're doing. No, I'm telling you that somebody in southeastern Michigan got $4 million out of the program. And I'm trying to figure out what happened, where did the money go, who got the money, and where are the programs of that $4 million. $4 million, Chief. I thought you might want to hear that. And anyway, I'm having a job fair on April the 13th. You don't want to miss it. I'm proud because my sister brother, I can help a lot of people with the grace of God, that I can help a lot of people. I'm going to have the largest job fair that you ever seen here in the southeastern Michigan. And we got some 60 to 75 vendors, people there that's going to be going to give information about jobs. And so some of these will just come dressed to impress, because you might be hired or at least given an opportunity right there on the spot. And this is on April the 13th. Put it on the calendar, circulate it on the calendar from 9 to 3, 9 a.m. to 3 in the afternoon. I'm serving a light breakfast and having a heavy lunch. And I'm expecting anywhere from 15 to 2,200 people based upon where we think where we are. But you want to be there. You really want to be there. And I'm grateful to those of you who were there for my grand opening of the culinary school. We have about 72 kids, not kids, but young people that's going to be in the culinary school and also in the finance school. We got about a number of young people that's they're taking up business, and so culinary and business. And so I'm just as happy about it as I can be. And I'm just saying to you, because of my sister and brother, again, you just want to make a difference. You just want to make a difference. And I just want you guys to take advantage of it. Just take advantage of it, you know. I was talking to one of the young men yesterday that I got him in a nursing school. I basically didn't get him in, but I helped. But the point is, he's doing well, and I'm just. It gives me great joy. It gives me great joy for this kind of stuff, and this is what I love to do. And I'm just telling you, put this on your calendar, because we're going to have the largest job fair that you ever had in the state of Michigan, in the state, as far as I'm concerned. And so again, I got people that have skill trades and how you can do that. I got workshops on how to dress for success. I got workshops on expungement. I got workshops there on how to navigate your way through friendly court. These barriers that keep you from working, these barriers, to keep you from getting a job. But we have these workshops there, and also we have people there that basically let you know that there are jobs here in the city area. There is jobs here in Detroit and around Detroit, and how do you get there and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to miss this. Caller, thank you for your patience. Hurry this morning. Yes.
Hey, Rev Holley, this
Yeah.
is Deputy Chief.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you took the time to research that pathway
Yeah.
out of poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's why I asked you the question, why, if it works out here on the West Coast, why would it not work in Detroit?
But Chief, I'm telling you, let me tell you something, man. Somebody got the money.
I know.
I mean, in Detroit, in southwest Detroit.
I know. That's why I'm saying I'm glad that you did the research. I mean, if you read a little bit further, you'll see it's the unions the skilled trade unions that's keeping the money out of Detroit.
I understand that, Chief, but I'm telling you, I put a staff on this. I'm trying to see if this money is still available at the Department of Labor.
Yes.
And to see whether or not, because again, I'm trying to make sure this money is there for people who really, Chief, are not going to be able to go back to school.
Yeah.
And so they can get this. I love the fact is that we can train people on the job. You may not be may not be a journeyman plumber, but you could do some plumbing.
Yeah. When I come back, I'm gonna have a program on TV 33, and it's gonna focus on the miseducation of the Negro.
Okay. Well, get me know. Let me know when you're coming on. Okay.
Okay, I will.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you for your patience. Hurry this morning.
Yeah, quickly, I'm going to hang up and listen. Could you please give us the location? You just said Southeast Michigan. I'll hang up and listen.
Okay. No, I don't know the location of the talking about the pathway to out of poverty. I'm just telling you that's where the money went to. I don't have the address there, but what I'm talking about now, these jobs I'm talking about, is going to take place right next door to the church, 8904 Woodward Avenue. I'm glad you brought the address up, because I didn't give that. But I'm just saying to you is the address for this job fair on April the 13th, 9 to 3. You don't want to miss this one. Every I don't care how old you are, how young, 18 to 100. I tell you, you don't want to miss this. Don't want to miss this. But I want you to understand, take it serious. Take it serious. This is 8904 Woodward on the corner of Woodward and Holbrook, and we're expecting about 15 to 2,200 people. And I'm asking you to be there. We got room for everybody, everybody. And I'll give you a little light breakfast when you walk in, give you a nice lunch if you stay there and participate, and that you learn and you know what's going on here, my sisters and brothers. Again, it's 8904 Woodward Avenue, right next door to the historic Little Rock Baptist Church. And I'm just saying to you is, I don't want you to miss this. I don't want you to miss this. I'm glad about the culinary school, this business school. I remember as a young man with Jesse Jackson, I ran around with a whole lot. Jesse and I were schoolmates, and he was more serious about SELC, and I was more serious about trying to finish school. But every time I got a chance, Jesse would take me with him, whether it was to South Korea, or whether it was in Saudi Arabia, whether it was in Kuwait, or whether it was in Washington. And I remember, never will forget, we were in the Nelson Rockefeller's office. He was vice president at that particular time. And basically he said to me, whatever you do, he said, make sure that your people will learn business, because this country is run on business. And make sure, in my old life, in my age now, finally I got a business school. And I'm just asking you, my sister, brother, we have scholarships there for you. If you want to go to business school, learn business. We also have a criminal justice system, a degree in criminal justice, and also food management, health management, I think is what we call it, health management, criminal justice, culinary, business. You can get your master's degree right there, and you can go online as well. I'm happy about it because my sister, mother, it adds to the diversity of what's going on in this city and how we can basically help our own. And I'm asking you to please check it out. But on April the 13th, from 9 to 3 at 8904 Woodward Avenue, we have a job fair. And I'm asking you, my sister and brother, that you will make sure you don't miss this. I mean, we got all kinds of jobs. We'll let you know where they are, fix you to match the job. Many people are talking about matching you up with some woman, some man, eHarmony and all that kind of stuff. Well, I got eHarmony for jobs. And I'm just asking you, my student brother, if you have somebody that's looking for a job, and they come from, for those who are looking for jobs who come out of prison. There are jobs that are going to be there, about 5 companies that major in helping those who are returning citizens. And so again, all of that is there. Then workshops, expungement, how you gavinate your way through the definitive court, and just success, how to do resumes, how to do interviews, all of those kind of things in terms of workshops. But I'm asking you to put this on your calendar. March the 13th at 9 a.m. And again, caller, thank you so much. How are you? Good morning. Okay, I probably waited too long to get you, to take you in. But anyway, I'm just saying to you, please, ma'am, and please, sir, make sure you put that on your calendar. And then I was thinking of something else that we're trying to do, we're supposed to be doing, or want to do, and I forgot. But right, I'm just excited about the job fair on April. This is tomorrow's the first day of April, so we're like 13 days away for you to really take this in. Caller, thank you for your patience. How are you? Good morning.
I'm fine. How are you?
Just fine. Thank you for calling.
Oh, thanks for taking my call. Listen, Reverend.
You got to turn your television down.
Okay, hold on. Just a second. Anyway, this is Ordinary Joe. And I called to ask a favor of you.
Sure.
And this particular person don't have much love for me or you. This is Perkins, East Side lady.
Oh yeah, right.
She's in dire need of help.
What she need?
And well, to my understanding, she's having problems with her house and things like that. And I just think that it's the talk show host and it's the caller that makes the show what it is.
Yeah.
And she's been an intricate part of TV 33 for about 25 years.
You're really right. You're right. And you're right about your description. But what can we do? Can you find out what I can do to help?
Well, it's been coming on TV that this gentleman, Tyrone Biden, is already helping him.
Okay.
Her. And perhaps you can contact him, and he can help her.
Okay. Can you call me on Monday and see what I can find out from what I can do?
Well, if you don't mind, I'll come up to the church on Monday.
Okay, I'll be here all day. I'll be there all day.
Okay, thanks for taking my call.
Sure, be happy to. Yeah. Caller, you're my last call. How are you this morning? How are you this morning? Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Just fine. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, this is Renee Bascom calling.
Yes, Renee.
And I would like to know, you said March the 13th about this workshop?
April.
It's April the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was calling in.
Yeah, April.
And I appreciate what you're doing because it's a lot of people are really out here suffering.
Yeah. But April, and thank you for the April the 13th. April. That's 13 days from now. April. Always remember on the second Friday and the fourth Friday of every month, we are prepared to feed 500 people. On the second Friday and the fourth Friday of every month, the second Friday, the fourth Friday every month, we're prepared to feed 500 people with 70 pounds of food. Now, we're prepared to do it. Now, sometimes 300 people show up. Sometimes 500 people show up. And I'm just saying to you, my sisters and brothers, I order this food, and then what happens is I got to take it back. And the last thing I want to do is take food back to an organization that give us the food, Forgotten Harvest. And I'm just saying to you is, indeed, if you know somebody can't get there, you come and get it and take it to them. But we got vegetables that comes from gleaners, and we got meat and potatoes that comes from Forgotten Harvest. And so I know that this is just a handout and not a hand up, but the job fair on April the 13th is a hand up. Obviously, the food on the second Friday and also the fourth Friday of each month, obviously, is to help people. So I'm just saying to you, take advantage of it. I mean, take advantage of it. You know, take advantage. If you know somebody, tell them, say, man, I know where you can get some food every second and fourth Friday. And I don't want to be sending food back, but sometimes I get 300 people, sometimes I get 500 people. But I'm just telling you, my sisters and brothers, that they're gonna penalize me if I can't deliver. And I know there's a lot of people that's hungry in this city. Thank you so much. I got to get out of here, and just want to let you know I'm grateful to you. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful to God, and I'm just grateful. I love what I do. You know, I may not do it as like you want me to do it, or whether do it like I really like to do it, but I want you to know I love what I do. I love trying to be a blessing to somebody else, because God has been a blessing to me. And I want to wish each and every one of you a happy Easter. This is a great day for the church, for the Christian church. And whatever you do, whatever church, whatever you belong to, I want you to know, my son and brother, you ought to be there with and celebrating on tomorrow. It is the day for the Christian church. Friday, yes, Good Friday, yeah, but Good Friday is Good Friday. But Easter Day is the day for the Christian church, and you ought to celebrate it. I know I will. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
We'll say a little prayer for you, and I will always care for you. Hello, Detroit.